Hey everybody, and welcome back to them drunk blokes to Delta Green. I was about to say D&D. That's not the one. Yes, we have just destroyed a thing in a trailer with fire, and yeah, let's see what happens. Over to the handler.
I'm just sending you a note. I think it might be a bit of an issue. You received that message I just sent you guys?
Yeah.
What does it say?
It's a house explosion.
Okay.
There's been a house explosion.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I've upset the local mafia.
Hamhock, you're amazing. But basically,
I'm dead.
What I'm seeing right now is news footage of a house explosion in New Jersey, and it looks like it's been absolutely burnt to the ground.
You arranged for a hit on Mr. Bernays, or his name was Bernays, in New Jersey.
When did we arrange a hit?
I did.
A day ago, or whatever it was.
I don't remember this hit being arranged.
It's all right. It's nothing to do with you. They're threatening that they're not going to walk with me anyway. I'm going to be sleeping with some fishes. I'll tell you the text message I just received. It said, that hiss you asked for, Mr. Buenays in New Jersey. Stretch is gone. Booby trapped. He's all over the news. You fucked me. And that's the worst thing you could ever do. You won't walk away no more. So.
Charming. Absolutely charming. So where did we where were we last time we got together?
Wait. I'm baffled. Can you explain what's going on to me here?
Maybe Pumba can explain.
Right, so dickhead that got in our way, and we didn't see hide nor hair of him again, but there was apparently a burnt out lorry in the forest. I had his mobile. Someone rang. We did a search on the guy that rang. Didn't leave it. Rung up my old friends. Said, go and have a look at this. You need to silence this. Turns out, or it looks like, house is booby trapped and blew up. So probably a bit more in depth than we thought. This is a lead. And the guy that arranged the hit has threatened that I'll never walk away from anything again. So
okay, now I'm with you.
Looks like I'm a Delta Green agent for life.
Can we just have a moment to reflect on the good work that Price Stretch Quintina did as a foot soldier for the mob? Well done. We'll bring a little picture of him up on the screen. There we go.
Is there a funeral date for Stretch that I know?
Don't know.
I want to arrange with Interflora over the internet the biggest possible wreath I can send to the funeral.
So you pissed off the Yakuza and the Mafia.
It's just fucking Tuesday or something, isn't it? It's all the same. I'm going after the Russians next.
Well, speaking of the Russians, no, I'm only kidding. So you're the last time we met, you successfully drove off a big gangly thing which left marks on your skin, and
I shook hands with it first.
You shook hands. That's right. You shook hands with it, and it really left its mark on you, and with its friendly hugs. That went down. You were with a dog handler, and the dog handler kind of was the dog was freaking out. You knocked the dog handler out, and I presume you just left him on the pavement somewhere. I don't know what you did. What did you do?
No, we tied him up and left him there, and contacted our handler at Delta Green and told them to come and clean the site up and handle him as well.
Right, and handle him as well. Fine. Okay, cool. I missed that bit.
I've gone from being like really scared and like, you know, very sort of like submissive to being like super alpha now. I'm like, oh, I am Delta Green now. This is it. I'll tell people what to do.
What's changed you?
I think he's gone mad slightly. Genuinely, I think he's cracked slightly. Like,
Well, I think last session you became like hardened to helplessness. You'd lost sanity and so much without actually going mad that you will never like fail a sanity roll when it comes to helplessness now. But that's been a massive expense to your POW, which is kind of your kind of somewhat your mental strength. Now, David, because your powers dropped to such a point now where you're actually quite your distinguishing feature for you is actually now you're more nervous, because while you're strengthened to the unnatural, you're actually you're now fearful of it. You kind of understand it. So you're of a bit more of a nervous disposition, and that can manifest itself however you want it to. The downside of that is a lower power means that your breaking point is the next time you hit it, it's a bit lower as well. But we'll worry about that. We'll worry about that another time. I think your immediate dangers, both of you are hitting your regular breaking points, and also I think you're both becoming very close to being adapted to violence. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Harry, the scat dog or whatever it was, it was a dead animal dog, legged it off into the woods and is gone for all you're aware. And I think at the end of that, you called it in. Delta Green got in touch with you to say, fine, clear the site. We'll send a team down to put and then to sort the mess out. They kind of know a little bit more about what they're coming up against. And also, you contacted Dunser to say there's a fire. It's of our making. Just kind of call off the emergency services if there are any reports of it. Which is a sick
I thought that was incredibly smart of us.
I think that was very smart of you. Well done. Well done. You will be rewarded for your endeavours. And then I think you had a subsequent message offline from your case officer again. And it was, it was the same message. It was like, clean up team on approach to the Mill Creek fire site, allow clearance for an unmarked white GMC Vandura van. I was a bit disappointed you didn't get that was actually the A-team van resprayed white. From OCEL, who were the other team running around, reported an initial analysis of that small sample that they had in the hospital. They say that it's infectious through direct contact. The creature demonstrates cellular regeneration, which you witnessed that during the fight. At least you witnessed it struggling to kind of complete a full regeneration. It's the OCEL report also, and you assume that it's Shell, the science guy who's looking into this. Regeneration is slowed by rapid oxidation. Sorry.
Yeah, what is oxidation?
If you were to look it up on Google, it's basically it's flame upwards. Yeah, so anything from fire through to nuclear bombs. So a fire is adequate to cause rapid oxidation, but you need a fuel source for it. So I think putting two and two together,
Lasers.
The fuel that you dumped on it and set fire to it, the fuel was the fuel source, and that caused rapid oxidation. And that seemed to stack up with what you saw. Cellular destruction demonstrated using ultraviolet radiation less than 315 nanometers. That's easy enough to Google for the pair of you.
We need a sunbed.
You need a UV. It looks like if you Google it, literally Wikipedia says something like UVA and UVB come from the sun. UVA has got a wavelength which is greater than 350 nanometers. UVB, which is the stuff that gives you skin cancer and gives you sunburn, that has got a wavelength which is smaller. Smaller than 315 nanometers. So UVB is UVB and above in terms of that is actually destroys the cells of this creature so far as they can figure out.
And it gives it the smell of honey and chlorine.
And also, it probably explains why. That also further Google search would probably explain why your finger's still in one piece. Your finger's in a glass jar. UVB can't penetrate glass, so
Digit Carcetti.
That might give you insights into how to contain and control. You did witness the
hang on
cellular.
Hang on a second. Can it penetrate plastic?
I don't know. Can it? Do you want to go through every material and go?
No, just this.
Are you thinking of giving it a sun hat?
The problem is, Dave, me mate. Obviously, we're going to get Digit Carcetti a sun hat now because that is just the fucking best idea ever. But we are going to need to spend some time in the tanning salon because we've both been infected.
I wasn't infected.
Yes, you touched it. You gave it a good old 3-person handshake when you pulled it out the hole.
Yeah, but I was fine. I shook it off.
Yeah, just tell me how you're both feeling. I mean, how is it feeling?
I was pretty battered, if I remember rightly.
Those little handprints. You were, yeah.
I think I feel a bit cold and a little bit tingly, a bit numb.
Yeah, I'd say most of me feels like that.
Your hit points are half of what they were at your maximum. So So that can manifest itself however you want it to. We agreed that you were there was a bit of first aid done immediately, and that kind of just brought you back into some kind of sort of shape. You can work that however you like.
I reckon busted nose, maybe a couple of chipped teeth, maybe one little cracked rib. You know, uncomfortableness, but not complete, I'm going to die pain.
Yeah. Yeah, and
David's got quite a bad hangnail.
You were both on the verge of exhaustion. Well, after that fight, you were, and you were going to turn in for a bit. And I think that's kind of where we left it. What I said to you both was that you could absolutely level up your skills where you wanted to.
Yes, you did.
And you forgot about that. Yeah, it won't take too long. You can do that now if you wanted to. But also, you were thinking of resting, I think, which will add a little bit to your. Will help your condition, Pat, a little bit in terms of your hit points. Not by much. I'm just looking it up. I think I looked it up the other week, and I think it was something like it added a 1d4 or something for resting.
Yeah, that was the first aid that was implied added the d4.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure we leveled up before that fight.
No, it was after.
No, it was after. Yeah.
Was it after it? Oh, okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you did it because you're the golden bollocks of the group. I completely forgot because I'm a person.
How do you know about my golden bollocks?
Well, they're shiny and round. Right, I'm going to roll a couple of D4 -1s here. Ignore me while you carry on.
I got well excited when I did that and rolled absolute peanuts. So
you carry on talking and deciding what's going on, and I'll be back.
We all do. So you did a bit of a resuscitation almost. So like it was a first aid. You did a first aid test on on not so much a resuscitation, but you did a bit of first aid, and that restored 1d4 hit points. Pat can rest and recover 1 hit point a day. So you could, I mean, you're both due a rest because you are on the verge of like exhaustion anyway. So if you rest, you roll a con test, and if you pass it, you recover 1 hit point. On a critical success, you regain 1d4. On a fumble, you lose a hit point.
Oh,
Marvelous. Not that you have many to start with. I think you, David, you're in good shape. You're on 11 hit points.
that's what I'm saying. He's got quite a bad hangnail. Like, that's it.
Yeah, you're okay. But you, your issue is that of willpower. So we spoke last time we played about offsetting sanity loss using your willpower points and your bonds. So because you took such a smack in the face because you rolled so badly when you adapted to helplessness, you lost so much power. You actually lost a lot of willpower as well. So that's not going to help you further down the line when you want to try and offset willpower, sanity loss against willpower. If we get there at all, to be honest, you can gain back willpower. And we'll kind of come on to that in a bit, I suppose. How's Pat getting on? Ooh, it's all funky. Alertness up to 72. Ooh, dodge up to 63. Oh my life! It's an alert. Oh, another high score. Look, a human at 73. That's a 3-point gain. It's beautiful. You got a 3-point gain on handguns or something, didn't you? When you rolled.
Yeah. I also got a 0 on something as well, which I didn't actually care about the handguns thing. I was like, there was other things that were just so much more important. And it's quite brutal.
I got 2 zeros.
2 zeros, fair enough.
Winning. Right, so we're going to be chilling out. So do we have to wait for the A team or the O cell to show up, or can we fuck off before they get here?
You can fuck off. Yeah. It's 12.
Right.
It's
we
12.
Need to.
It's 12 noon.
So we need to. Right, I've lost David. We need to get some rest in, arrange some way of getting to cow country.
Yeah.
Pick up some RPGs, tracer rounds for your handgun if you've got the handgun skill.
Well, hang on. You've completely missed a step where we need a helicopter.
Yeah, I said we need to arrange some transport to.
No, what I mean is, we're not going to be on the ground next to this thing. It's going to be huge. We're going to be above it, like T-Rex hunting.
Yeah, the helicopter comes under the transport section. I mean,
Yeah,
otherwise
okay,
it's nick the A-team van and then create a fiery cabbage launcher and fire it out the back of the A-team van while moving really fast.
I was also thinking, the reason I asked whether UVB could go through plastic was I was thinking, like, as a last resort, we could have made like.
Oh yeah, we need a little spa day. That's what we need. Get on them sunbeds. Fucking get rid of this fucking infection that we've got.
So you've got.
Is there a local spa in Mill Hill? Where not Mill Hill? Where the fuck are we?
Does anyone know if Donald Trump got anywhere with that whole putting sunlight inside people to kill viruses?
What, like fiber optic the bloodstream?
There are plenty of there are plenty of walk-in like tanning salons if that's what you're worried about.
So I'm going to suggest that we're going to have like 2 days rest, right? And as part of that 2 days rest, the only sort of activity will be
Frank, are you there?
To go to these tanning salons.
Frank is there, but I don't think you can hear him.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm going to have a quick reconnect. Carry on without me.
So you're going to have a 2-day rest for. Oh, he's gone. So...
All right.
Yo.
So what was I going to say? there was something really funky. Yeah, so you're going to bed, right? But there was something really funky which was going to happen if you hit exhaustion. So while I look it up, talk me through what you're gonna have 2 days rest. Did you say 40 hours?
No,
what you say?
of course, fucking not.
That's what Frank said.
No, shut up, Frank. What we're going to do is we're going to run down to the local spa, have a kip in the sunbed, come out like Donald Trump, and then fuck off and kill this monster thing.
No, but Pat, you're really badly hurt. We should rest.
I'm fine.
And by we, I mean you. You're a mess.
I'll rest on the sunbed. Find me a sunbed.
I'll tell you what. Let's just get we'll get a good night's sleep now. We'll go on the sunbeds tomorrow and we'll discuss the plan from there. How about that?
But what if the infection spreads?
What
if I grow an extra testicle? I mean, apart from the normal 3.
Right, I just got a word of warning, right? If you don't rest, you will lose, from here on in, you will lose 1d6 willpower points, right? Now, that is fine if your name is Pat Mohanary. You're like hunky-dory. if your name is, for argument's sake, David Hawkins, right, who's only got 5 willpower points, when you hit 2 willpower points, you have an emotional breakdown, which is fine.
So I think
if you hit 0, which is a possibility on 1d6, you collapse and you're completely incapacitated and perhaps unconscious. I'm just saying.
Well, as long as he ain't flying the helicopter, we'll be all right, won't we?
I think David reaches out to Pat and his hand's trembling, and he puts his hand on Pat's shoulder and he's like, Pat, listen, you really, really, really need to rest.
And I just pat him on top of the head and go, there.
Because your maximum willpower is 5, you can't go higher than 5, right? So you can't keep sleeping to gain 1d6 willpower. I'm
not trying to sleep to gain willpower. I think that David is probably pretty shaken up, and the way he's dealing with what's just gone on is he's I need to sleep.
Yeah.
I'll sleep. It'll be okay.
I was just
but I'm thinking, don't go to sleep infected. Have a kip on the sun. I tell you what, it's quite sunny around, isn't it? Is there a fucking pool lounger outside the motel that he could kip on outside? Just so he's getting that that good UV.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing, because you're saying going to the tanning salon. Now, the whole point of the tanning salon is that they don't give you skin cancer. What you actually want is the bad UV. You want
we'll go to a really old tanning salon.
You could, you could just sit outside in the sun to do whatever you're trying to do. Have a little.
Yeah, all right.
You think of sleeping in a tanning salon?
Yeah.
I mean, this is this is Final Destination shit right there. I mean,
I'm open to it. Let's get this fucking story done.
So David is not the sort of person who would sleep in a tanning salon.
but being African American, you do have problems absorbing vitamin D. So you'd have to spend if you wanted to go down this route, you'd probably have to spend a little bit longer in the tanning salon than our orange-haired, our flame-haired, white-skinned leprechaun.
Hey, that's a stereotype.
Who could probably get burnt staring at the moon, to be fair.
Right. So do we have a car here? We drove here, yeah. It was
No, we have to walk out of the foresty bit.
Yeah, it was
north of the motor.
It was north of where we discovered this place.
No, I met you with the motor down by the. Remember, you was doing all the walk with the dog. I got the fucking fluffy bunny rats, and then I drove around and met you at the side of the forest.
You did, yes. All.
Oh yeah, okay. So it was
all 11.
Yeah.
All the
names of rats I forgot.
All 11 rats. Did you have you still got them?
Well, I put them down. I was going to throw them at the thing, but I've come kind of attached to them. Like one's called Ratty, one called Rizzo,
I like the idea that
one called Robert.
With a box full of rats, just placed it on the ground. Just like, okay, right, let me have this fight. All right, back again.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'll go and pick up my rats.
So, what are you doing? I don't know.
So we're going back to the motel for the evening.
Right, but we're going to sit outside in the sun and sleep on the sun loungers outside.
So it's 12 noon.
David's not going to sleep outside. David's going to sleep in the bed.
It's 12 noon. Yeah, okay. Right.
This pale ass gingerbread man is going to sit in the sun and make sure that from his coded message he received from your mate, he's put to use, and I'm just going to stay there and bake off the little blue handprints.
David doesn't worry about any of this. He knows that the most important thing is sheets and a pillow right now.
If you wake up with 4 eyeballs, I'm going to shoot you. You know that.
First, and then bed. That's it.
Marvelous. Right. So you're going to the motel. You're going to keep on the lounger by the pool. Well, by the drained pool, which is full of leaves as it's October, and you're going to get a bit of sun through the clouds, and then you're going to turn into your motel, into your bed, and very easily fall asleep, I imagine. What time are you setting your alarm for?
I am going to set my alarm for about 7:30 the next morning.
Cool. So we're expecting it to be October the 6th, 7:30 a.m.
Yep.
As long as there aren't any major interruptions. That's beautiful.
While he's sleeping, can I make a phone call?
You can do anything you like. That's the name of the game.
A phone call to Interflora.
Yeah.
Sending a giant wreath to old Stretchy's funeral with deepest commiserations. Sorry, you shit. Love, Pat. Right across the front. Fucking threaten me while I'm in business. This is war, motherfuckers.
Beautiful. And, consider it done. When is the funeral, by the way?
Well, I'm guessing the body's going to be released by the police a couple of days. It takes 2 days to put it all together an Italian funeral, so about 4 days' time.
4 days.
I don't think there would have been a body. Did you see that news footage?
Well, there'll be a memorial service. Whatever. I'll make sure. I'll work it out.
Fine. Okay. It is done. Complete with a passive-aggressive note.
I might even send a note to the Yakuza with the name of the guy that threatened me, saying, "Ha, got your dagger. What you got to do about it?" And start off a mob war, just in my spare time.
This is why David needs to go to sleep, because he'd have an
aneurysm. You can't see this shit happening. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna send Mr. Yakitori a message, just saying, "Oh, these guys did it," with some convincing evidence, because they probably put me up to it in the first place, and then hopefully the problem will sort itself out before I get home.
I'm sure it will. It always does. It always does, doesn't it? Good. So, David's proposing setting the alarm for 7:30 the following morning. So, effectively having flipping Nora 15 hours sleep or something, 16 hours sleep, which is probably doable. Pat, are you going along with that, or you apart from your little phone calls?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna after my phone calls in the sun, I'm making sure I'm in the sun. When it gets a little bit too dark or too overcast to keep outside, I'll go back into the hotel room and do the same.
Fine. Okay. Let's call it a quiet night for once.
Holy night.
Bless it.
With the exception of there's always with the exception of, isn't there?
With the exception of what? With the exception of what?
You have a message from your case handler. In fact, you had a call. Yeah, let's be kind. You have a call at like 6:30 a.m. David. Ringity ring ring ring.
Hello.
Yo, it's Dwayne. Quick update for you. That site is clear. We still have the continued interesting reports over in Montana in the fields. But more importantly, OCEL have taken the remains of the first of the evidence bags that you dropped in the our secure disposal site, and we've run a fingerprint ID check. Just bring it up now. Bear with me. So OCEL ran it through AFIS, and it's come up as on the military database. A gentleman called, bear with me, just reading it out, US Air Force, First Lieutenant Daniel Uli, US Air Force. Don't have much more than that, really. Uli died 1992 in a training exercise, fatal injury. So, what else does it say here? It kind of ends. We've got hold of the death certificate, but it doesn't really say much, to be honest. In fact, it says negative information. It actually suggests that while there was a fatal injury on a training exercise in 1992, the cause of death is unknown. And it does make reference to HPSF, which is the Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center in Virginia. So, old news. I have no idea what the connection is. We'll keep doing a bit of a ground search and a database search, okay?
Okay. There was some stuff I need to talk to you about, actually. This problem in Montana, I get the feeling it's going to be a bigger problem than what we were dealing with here.
Sure.
So we'll probably... how am I going to get hold of a helicopter with a pilot and the sort of weaponry that would be appropriate for trying to handle this thing?
We have a helicopter on standby. So we just weren't sure how you wanted to play it. OCEL have been spending their time performing research. Oh, he's back. Hello. The helicopter we have on standby, that's no problem. And we've got a pilot which you can use. We've actually held that back, but waiting your instructions on whether we should send OCEL out to the crash site. If you're going yourself, then you can requisition that, no problem. And he sends you a GPS coordinates for a small helipad in a privately owned kind of commercial area, about 40-minute drive out of Mill Creek, northwest of here.
And what about, some sort of explosives, something like that?
Well, what I suggest is that you message me a list of things that you need and what the time scale is, and the rest of what I can get, we'll have left by the helicopter, and the rest of the stuff you'll need to just acquire yourself. Okay.
Okay, fine. Fine.
So at this point, he messages you. Oh, can you see me, Shogun? Yeah, cool. At this point, he messages you some kind of a small report on what he was just saying, and also he's expecting you just to message or over the phone, just let him know what you need in a bit.
Yep.
Whatever.
I'll send you a message with the shopping list, and I think it might be a good idea if you can get Osel to look into our soldier friend.
Sure. They're currently performing a scientific analysis of the two bodies, and also the evidence pack as well. But I'll get them on to following up Social Security and any military records I can find. Okay. Next of kin, that sort of stuff. Okay.
That's great.
Fine. So he sends you a GPS coordinate of the helicopter, and there we go.
I'm gonna bang on the wall to Pat's room.
No, you're fucking right, fatty. Huh? What?
Breakfast. Yeah, put on anything. I don't care. Breakfast. 5 minutes. Have a shower.
Oh, I've lost him.
Yeah, he's back. I can see him.
Right. It just sounded. It actually, to me earlier, it just sounded like someone was drilling a wall in Pumba's living room in his garage. Oh, there we
I'm
go.
hearing
Right, I'm back.
It's fine though. Good.
All right, so we're going to go to a local diner and have a breakfast, and I'm going to relay the content of the conversation we had with.
Right.
Wow, did no one else hear that noise then?
Huh?
I just heard a terrifying noise, like a wailing.
Is that the fan from your laptop?
It may be.
Is that the helicopter?
Listen, man.
Is that the helicopter you just booked?
Did that now?
Yeah. So I explained to Pat, you know, that having spoken to Dwayne about what's going on, having suggested that Osel look into this soldier connection, which I also tell him about, and I say we're going to be using a helicopter this time because, you know, that thing we dealt with, I don't want to be close to something like that again. So my suggestion is we find it from the air and we burn it from the air and then we fly home.
Right. 1 second. Can you still hear the helicopter taking off?
It's slowly going away. Is it circling
very
overhead?
good.
Was it circling overhead earlier?
Now I've lost Dave. Is Dave still there for
It
you?
comes across as quite a
This
scary
fucking
howling
laptop's
to me.
dying.
Oh, but now I've lost Pumba. He's there.
There we
He's
go.
back.
I'm here. Hello,
Okay.
can you hear me?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Right, so we will need the helicopter. Yes, very good. A VP-70 with trace around.
Hang on.
Okay.
Let me get a pen and paper. Pulls out
We
napkin.
probably want a couple of them and a shitload of trace arounds already in mags.
VP
your
7
adept-
around, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Then probably some kind of incendiary rocket for an RPG. Now, I've only ever used them to blow bank doors off and melt bolts, so I'm not sure what they're going to do to a cow monster. So
football in here, keep it coming.
And then probably if we just had a load of highly flammable substances in jars that we could just drop on it from overhead while it's on fire from the other things, or maybe drop them first and then fire the other stuff at it to set it up. Maybe some big glass jars of petrol or gasoline or whatever the fuck you want, you know, some kind of flammable liquid. And I'm not talking about my urine.
Okay. So I text that to Dwayne, and also I add to the list like body armor and helmets, because like I'm really worried now. I'm a bit scared. I'm trying not to let on, but
so I've got a VP70.
You want multiple of those? Multiple, at least.
What is a VP70?
No idea. I just want to.
It's a machine pistol made by Heckler and Koch, but it takes 9mm parabellum bullets, which is perfect for tracer rounds.
It is a gas blowback pistol, correct? Right.
There you are.
Okay.
It's a machine pistol.
With
I wish I knew more about firearms, because I was expecting something more along the sort of like minigun variety.
With your skill set, Mr. Detective from the Bronx or wherever the fuck you're from, like you're not going to be able to hold down fucking Brune Emmett.
In fairness to David, his heavy weapons skill is 0, so there's room for improvement.
But I believe his pistol skill, which these are, is up there.
I can't believe we're going to place it in a helicopter and fire pistols at it. This is ridiculous.
No, the pistols are just to set light to the gasoline. The tracer rounds are going to burn it. So, but the incendiary rockets are definitely going to do much more kaboomage.
Hands down, Dwayne is not going to come through on those. He's a nice
guy. The incendiary rockets.
But he's going to stush out on the rockets, I reckon.
Who knows? Who knows?
Well, just in case, let's stop by a fireworks shop. Just in case it's down to our own volition, and then we can make some kind of boom.
Want to get loads of fireworks and tape them together, basically.
Cover it in fucking petrol and then firework the cunt.
That sounds amazing. We're definitely doing that.
So we've got a VP.
I want some black pudding in my dinner.
The request is VP70s, machine pistols with tracers ×2, tracer rounds in magazines, plenty of magazines, RPG rocket, an incendiary rocket, plenty of flammable liquid like kind of 4 or 5 gallon
glass jars.
Glass jars.
Moonshiners jars.
Right. So like
I think maybe we'll supply the jars. We'll just ask them for the fuel. It's a bit niche to be like we want it in jars.
The thing is if we're going to drop it out the helicopter on it and it's in a plastic jar, it just bounces off the fucker and doesn't actually get anything on it.
We'll source our own glass vessels. That's what I'm saying.
All right. So we've got to go back to that hardware store where I bought all that weird shit from.
Home Depot. Okay, so
I just want to role play buying some glass jars. What's wrong with you guys?
Flammable liquid, and like you're asking for like a couple of jerry cans of petrol, yeah.
No, a little bit more than that. I'm thinking like
a little bit more than that, yeah.
How
Four
much?
jerry cans.
How
Like
many
4
4 jerry
jerry
cans? That's 100 litres. Is that right?
Yeah, fuck him up.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
What kind of helicopter is it? Get there and it's a little 2-man splinter. Won't even take off with both of us in it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, right. What else? What else do you need? You've got you want body armor ×2 and helmets ×2.
Meh. You're right. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. It's like my sailors can't swim. Fuck it.
Yeah, no, I think that sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, but again, what type of helicopter is it? Because we're going to order all this shit and then not be able to take off.
Well, it doesn't matter, innit? They're going to put the stuff at the landing site for us. We'll go and we'll take what we can. You know, we'll make do, innit?
Well, the pistols ain't going to weigh much. It's just the amount of magazines. They're going to weigh you down, and then yeah, all right. And how much petrol we can get on board?
Yeah.
So we got to source the glass jars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, I need a sun hat for Digit Carcetti.
Like a tiny little one.
So yeah, we buy a tiny little Panama hat, like a Panama hat.
Yeah, purple with a white band.
And like, I'm assuming we can find some nice. I don't know that I'm not actually American. I don't know. Viewers might not know this, but I'm not actually American, so I don't really know because I know the accent's quite good. But I don't know. I know they're into pickling things there, innit? Because they're weird, right? And you get like big jars for like pickling things. So I'm thinking you can get jars that
The moonshine, boy.
a decent, like, you know, couple liters of liquid.
Perfect. Big Kilner jar. Just fill up like 12 of those from the Home Depot. From the homeware department. So you're going to do that. You're rested. Can you both roll me a con test, please? Constitution saving throw, whatever you want to call it. Wrong
Constitution. well done, Mr. DM, man.
What are we playing? Six. Ooh, 2. Wow, that's weird. Oh, there's the helicopter again, taking off.
When you lost the mic, it worked better.
That's weird. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter. You can do it while we're flying to the crash site, can't you? Be perfect. Both of you add 1 hit point onto your health. 1 health point. And that'll do.
Where's that at?
Where's that at?
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
on
it.
yours. So you should have 8, and David should have 12.
I'm above half.
David Hangman's better now.
So you've sent your request over to Dwayne Dennison. He sent you a message back saying that in 3 hours, make your way to the GPS position. So at 9:30 a.m. Out of town by about 40 minutes. So you need to leave in about an hour to make your way over there. You're scurrying around. You've got a bit of time to do that anyway.
So David is now feeling like shit. Maybe Pat was right. Maybe I should have stayed in the sun.
Paranoia.
Yeah, you love it.
David will.
What are you doing? What are you doing in that time? You're gonna go straight there?
We'll go to the Home Depot for a Panama hat and.
I'm not role playing. I'm not role playing a Home Depot scene. I know we're lacking a bit of content this week, but. Hi, my name's Barry. How can I help you? We've got 15 minutes to go.
An extremely paranoid David trying to buy fucking 12 5-gallon jugs. Like, what do you want them for, sir? Doesn't matter. Give them to me.
None of your business. I'm leaving.
Have you got a license to buy these vessels, sir?
Moonshine.
You look like you've had a very nice sleep, sir. If you don't mind me saying so.
A little bit blue around the wrists.
I like your henna tattoos.
Yeah, so David definitely wants to go and hit the tanning beds before going to collect the helicopter.
Nice. Okay.
Question. What's Digit Carcetti doing towards us now?
He is not moving.
Okay, that's good.
He's pulsing, but like not moving. Like a sleeping dog. Dreaming. Roll me a Constitution, David, please, for your extra sunbed trip. No, actually, no. Roll me a POW.
One of those dice rolled off the table.
You've caught the sun a little bit. So for the rest of the session, you're going to role play a sunburn impediment. Okay. It's coming up to 9 o'clock. You're dicking around the town, like getting a tan, buying some bits and pieces. You doing anything else before you make your way to the heliport?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get some cocoa butter from the chemist to put on this sunburn.
we could stop the recording there if we wanted to. Oh, yeoman of the
Yes.
game.
Yep, I agree.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're off to get cocoa butter. An exciting end to a thrilling episode of not much, and we didn't even visit Home Depot. So next time, let's find out what these demi jars and cocoa butter combined is going to do. Oh, we forgot to go and get fireworks. There you go. But anyway, next time, damn drunk blokes do Delta Green. Bye.
Bye.